episode of Massachusetts. I'm your host, Bob Tremblay. Well, it is a really hot, humid summer's day. And you can see Bandit and Shiva, all they want to do is chill and hang low. So here they are, relaxing comfortably inside of our house. Anyway, in today's episode, I want to talk about how effective mushing is for bonding with your dogs. Now, this is something that, competitive mushers and commercial mushers know, and working mushers, trapline dog, people running trap lines, know that their sled dogs really love mushing. But a lot of times when people have pets and they're into the Nordic breeds, like Siberian Huskies or Alaskan Malamutes or Samoyeds, they don't think mushing's something they can do with their dogs. The reality is that these breeds love to mush, they love to go out there, and that you can do it on a recreational level. So today I'm going to take Bandit and Shiva out. I'm going to share a video with you where we went out on a summer's day bike joring, which is mushing with a bike. And I'm going to talk about how mushing creates a real meaningful bond between you and your dog. Paw around. Paw, 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 paw. Yes. There we go. Okay, good. Easy. Easy. All right, go. Yes. As we get started with this recreational summer run, I'll just point out some of the things that we do when we're bike joring with the dogs in the summer. You notice one thing is that I am pedaling and I'm keeping up with them. I really don't want them having full tension on the line. I just don't want them working that hard in the summer. So now I'll step back and we'll watch this interaction with this car on our route. G. G. Hit. 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 We're taking the left. Hop. This section of the trail heads down to the Miller's River, and we're going downhill here. So the bike is picking up speed. I actually have to ride the brakes a little bit so I don't ride up on the dogs. They're running along pretty well, but at the same time too, I'm catching up with them. So I'm really kind of paying attention so I don't come up too hard on them. Here we are, we're kind of leveling out. The dogs do a great job of getting around mud puddles and stuff. I usually just let them kind of make that decision as to what makes the most sense. But anyway, we'll talk about recreational mushing. So here we are, recreational mushing with my two Siberian sled dogs. That's Shiva on the left-hand side and Bandit on the right. And we're off on a summer day in June along the Miller's River in Winchendon, Massachusetts. And so one of the things that I do when we're running in the summer is I always make sure that we're near water. We need to be near water for them to drink. We need to be near water for them to take a dip. They'll see them take a dip later on. And I really don't want them going too far, too fast without cooling down. The temperature this day was actually pretty cool. I can't remember right offhand, but I think it was like the low 60s, was very dry. June was really nice and cool around here, so it was great for that. So anyway, let's talk about recreational mushing. The first thing that I get out of recreational mushing with our dogs is that it's exercise for all of us. I try very hard to get the dogs out running at least 3 days a week, so it's the better part of every other day. We'll go out for 4 to 6 miles, and that gives exercise for the dogs, physical exercise for the dogs, as well as for myself and for Carrie. And that's exercise whether we are biking or whether we are sledding. The driver does do some work. So exercise is one of the reasons we recreational mush. Another unannounced stop. GoPro, stop recording. What we just saw there is actually one of the most difficult things about mushing recreationally with a small team, is because we have a small team, it's really hard to train them to poop and pee on the fly like I do when I had a larger commercial team. So that's one of the things you need to be really alert, because you need to stop when your dogs need to go. Another big reason that we like to recreational mush with our dogs, other than the physical exercise, is the adventure of getting out and running and exploring and being on different trails. So that sense of adventure is stimulation and mental excitement for the dogs and for us. So that element of adventure that we share together as a team is a really important aspect of recreational mushing. Here we are coming up to water the dogs. Up, up, up. Good dogs. Easy. A little water break. To prevent your dogs from overheating in the warm weather, what you want to do is you don't run them if the air temperature, the sum of the air temperature and the relative humidity is greater than 110. So on this particular day, let's say it was 62 degrees and the relative humidity was 30, so it was like a total of 92. So it's good to run the dogs. Yeah, let's get up there. Quick, stand. All right, up, 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 up. I'm with you. Up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It's difficult terrain here. G, G. Good, that's it. Not yet, not yet. Yep. Yep. Good dogs. The other big thing about recreational mushing is the opportunity you get to bond with your dogs. So this kind of activity, this kind of stimulation, this kind of group involvement really helps you to bond well with your dogs. And it's one of the times where you're really kind of meeting the dogs on their level. You're doing what they like to do instead of making them conform to our lives. G. Yes. Good dog. Let's go. That's it. And recreationally mushing with your dogs, whether it's with a bike like we're doing here, dry land mushing, or later on in the winter when we're out there with a sled. Another thing that's great about doing it on a regular basis is the discipline that it gives your dogs, the discipline of pacing themselves, of standing and waiting to get their harnesses on, of getting hooked up, of knowing when to go, knowing when to stop, knowing when to go fast, knowing when to slow down, knowing when to take a right or to take a left or to go straight ahead. So that opportunity for discipline is great for the dogs. Every dog needs a job, and even though this is a lot of fun for them, I'm convinced, from running dogs for thousands of miles, that the discipline of it is really very, very exciting for them. It empowers them to know that they have a leader who's directing them and pacing them so that they don't get overtired. And I make sure that they get water, and I make sure that they go to different trails every single day, and that they get that excitement and that joy, and that I praise them when they do things well. So that discipline is really good. The other thing too is the direction. So giving them directions as to where to go, what to do. I'm sure that is very, very satisfying for the dogs, which really kind of brings up the biggest reason you should recreationally mush with your sled dogs, have a Nordic breed, is just for their well-being. They are coded in their DNA to do this exact activity. And so to be out there and running is what they're supposed to do. It's what they're happiest doing. And so it's really great for their well-being. They're used to going left around this gate. I'm going to try to get them to go right again. G. G. Yes. Turn. G. That's it. Up, up. Yes. Good dogs. Good dogs. Good dogs. Good dogs. Good dogs. Yep. Yep, that's it. Good dogs. Hit. It's nice mixing it up for them a little bit. See how they change there. Follow the commands. Whoa. Good dog. GoPro, stop recording.